Alright, so I've been trying to make this video for the last damn hour, but this damn app keeps closing out. It's very fucking annoying. So, if it closes out this time, oh well, I just won't make a video because this is very much annoying. So, what I want to do is just give you guys an update. I've been playing in-person poker, in-person table games. Well, not table games, but it's a particular table game. That is Ultimate Texas Hold'em, because that's been the biggest poker I can actually play. And if you know anything about it, then you know. If you don't, I'll give you a rundown. It is poker, but you're playing against the house, or depending on where you're playing, a banker. And it's just like regular poker. You have some particular casinos, you have 4 spots. You have a trips, which pays you for like flush, trips, full house, quads, royal flush, things like that. Then you have the ante and the bonus. And then you have sometimes pocket pair. So if you get like pocket aces, you get paid a certain amount, so forth and so on. I've been playing that because it's been the biggest thing I've been able to play. And I've been playing, my lowest, I've been playing like $20 to $25, but I've mostly been playing like $100 a spot, so basically $400 plus a hand. And what I mean by 400 plus, I mean each spot I'm playing 100, and then if it's pre-flop, if I have a good hand, I'm timesing that 100 by 4. So you know that's already $400 pre-flop. But again, I've been playing a little bit higher also, so I've been playing 500 in those spots. So sometimes I would wind up playing a few thousand, or about a thousand or two in one hand. I haven't been doing so great. I've been playing the machine, and that's just been horrible. I've noticed that a lot of these casinos, you walking in these days and you're playing machine shuffled games, it's a lot of crazy. You see too much craziness. Those machines do track your hands. A lot of casinos don't like to admit it. I had to get on well, not get on them as in yell at them or anything like that, but I had to point out to a floor supervisor at the Hard Rock that they were lying to a player. We was talking about the machine and how they build into how some of those odds are built into the machines, because those machines know exactly which players are getting what card. The floor decided to lie and say, no, we don't know it, and I had to tell them about it. That's a lie, and I had to give an example, and the floor had to admit their lie. They try to play it off with, oh no, I didn't mean to say that, but you know how that is. So whatever, been playing that, not so good. I wind up having to start playing private, basically playing private, so I can actually close the table and be the only one to play, which allows me to use hand shuffle. So I've been doing a little bit better with hand shuffle. Hand shuffle is they're not using a machine, they're just hand shuffling the cards. So that's been working out a little bit better. Now for the poker, the regular poker, I've been playing a lot of 1-2, 2-5, and PLO. Now, again, you may hear me crying or talking about I've been wanting to play more, and I've been not playing more, but playing bigger games. The biggest no limit game I've been able to play is 2-5 outside of the table game, and the PLO has been 5-5-10 PLO. Now, you may hear me say 2-5. 2-5 is, of course, bigger than 1-2, but I've been playing more 1-2 because I'm going to give you a perfect example and tell you how it's been going. Now, this is my last session 2 days ago. I went to the casino. I was going to play the table games, but I came early in the morning. So they didn't have enough dealers to open up the table for me. So I wound up sitting down at a 1-2 game. Now, usually I buy in for, I hardly buy in for table max at those levels. So I usually buy in anywhere from $100 to $200. And I usually run it up. So, but today I had loose. I had about like 3,000, and I think I had like 80 and some and 20s. So I wound up pulling out 60 of those 80s and putting them on the table, buying in. Very first hand, I get Ace Jack. Now, this one story is going to set the table or set the tone for how the month and a half has been going. So I bought in. Very first hand, I get it dealt Ace Jack. I raised to $15. Again, we're playing 1-2. Everyone folds. Small blind calls, big blind folds. The board comes 4-4 Jack. Perfect hand. I have top set, top kicker. I mean, not top set, but top pair, top kicker. So I bet out. They call. Turn comes. I have no choice but to jam because again, I'm playing very small. So I jam. They call. They roll over 4-7 offsuit. And I immediately say, and I actually said it louder than what I thought, but I said, fucking donkey. And two of the other players looked at me and laughed. Another player looked at me and shook their head. Like, yeah, that's how it is. And so I was like, wow. And I say it at the same time as almost this other player, bingo. They're playing, like I said, they're playing, it's fucking bingo. And the other guy was like, damn, man, like, basically we said it at the same time. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I reload. I pull out some more cash. I bought in for another 60. So I have an even buy-in of 120. So long story short, that same player, that very first hand that called me with 4-7 offsuit, I wind up busting. So I bust him, and when I bust him, I went from 60 to about $500 and something. So there was another player, older guy, played against, he just kept buying in for 200. He was basically the type of guy that just wanted to play everything, no matter what. Like if he had a pair, you're not going to get him to fold. So I wound up teaching him a lesson. I wound up taking a lot of money from him. I didn't bust him because he actually wound up staying in the game. I actually left before he did. But there was another player that was in the game that I wound up busting. It was a 3-way all-in. I had pocket 8s. The board comes 8 something. We wound up running it twice. Usually I don't run it twice in small games. But this hand was particularly big. This hand was the hand I sort of left off of. But it's a big hand. Long story short, I have my set. I jam. We run it twice. There's 3 people in the hand. The first board, I wind up getting a flush, 8 high flush. That's how bad it is. One player that I busted, he called with a, I think he had 10-3 offsuit. And he called that crap. He's the one that actually went all in. And then the other guy, the one I'm talking about that kept buying in for 200, he calls. He wound up actually hitting a straight on the river. But again, on the first board, I wound up hitting a flush. I knew I was gonna win at least one of the boards. But I didn't know I was gonna win both. But I won the first one with an 8 high flush. An 8 high flush. The second board, I wound up winning with a full house. Another 10 hit the board on the river, so it gives me the full house. So I wind up scooping a good pot there and leaving after a little bit. So I left that table with almost $1,000. And my first buy-in was 60. My second buy-in was 60. Overall, I was 120 in. So that's how that's been going for 1-2. So I've been playing a lot more 1-2 because of that reason. Now, the 2 players that I busted and the third one I took a lot of money from, I didn't really have any history with those players until that particular day. So, but that's how that's been going. So that's why I've been playing a lot of 1-2 and less than 2-5. 2-5 I've been doing good. I buy in with the max of 500. Sometimes I had a few 300 buy-ins, and I would make a little money up and down swings. But a lot of people were playing a lot more nittier in that game, so that was just knitting it up. And the 5-5, I didn't like that particular game because these players knew each other well, very well. Now I know when you go to a casino and you play against players, a lot of them do know each other. That's fine, but these players know each other well. They're passing each other money, staking each other, and they're all, nothing against them, have them in my family, but they're all Hispanic players, and they're speaking Spanish in the hand. Now, I'm not Hispanic. I have dated a lot of Spanish girls. I have Hispanics in my family, and I do understand. Okay, I understand a little, and I can speak very little. So, but these players, they're just all Spanish in the hands, and they're showing each other their cards, things like that. Just stuff that shouldn't go on is going on. Stuff that you complain about, and nothing gets done. And I'm not the type to too much complain. I just, unless I'm in a particular hand and it's going on, then I'm going to say something. But other than that, I try not to, because I just don't want to be that guy. But at the same time, look, I'm playing a lot of money and we playing money here. So I just said forget it and just started avoiding playing in that game. Because that's things that's not supposed to happen. And that's things that the floor and supervisors should be stopping, but they're not. So it's been going good. I'm a little above even because I've been playing again in person. Now the table games, again, I don't know what's going on there. My best day was like 3,000. Again, it was a very small buy-in. This time it was the opposite. I was actually waiting to enter into a 2-5. I sat down for the meantime at the Ultimate Texas Hold'em. Alright, so it cut off on me, but whatever. We'll pick up. So I sat down at the Ultimate Texas Hold'em because I was waiting for the 2-5, my 2-5 spot. So I sat down. I bought in with $80 because, again, I didn't expect to sit there for that long or sit long and play. Now, tell you no lie, I sat down. I wind up, and I usually play it. I usually play the high hand, but this time I did not. I tell you no lie, I hit 4 high hands, but I was not playing. I hit quads. I hit straight flush, 2 straight flushes actually, one with 2 cards, one with 1 card, and I hit a few other like full houses. So that, if I would have played the high hands, that would have been, I would have accumulated $1,500 in high hands alone. But I didn't. So, but after all those good hands, I was doing just doing super well. So I wound up running that $80 to $3,200. So they called me for my 2-5, but again, when it's going good, I don't like to leave. So I didn't. I wound up staying, and I actually wound up giving a lot of it back because I stayed too long. But after that, I slowed up. I stopped pushing as hard, and when I seen that I start to win and start playing hand shuffle. I wound up gaining some of that back and wound up leaving. So that's been my biggest day, running from $80, and I wound up in all that particular day, even after the losing and then gaining some of it back. I think it was like 3,600 up on that particular table. So I've been also playing, trying not to play as long sessions. So I actually wound up not playing any live actual poker, just a table game that particular day. So that's how that's been going. But recently, outside of that being one of the best days, I had another day, but I bought in for a lot more. I bought in for I think it was 2,500, and basically I just doubled the 2,500. I stayed a little too long again. I wound up losing some back, so I wound up with like a 2,000 profit or whatever. So again, that's just how that's been going. Now online, like I said, today is my first day back on online, and it's August 28th. What I'm gonna tell you is, stay the fuck away from online poker. Stay the fuck away from Bet Online, America's Card Room. Just stay the fuck away. Nothing but a huge scam. Huge scam. Today, I did something that I never thought would happen. And that's, I bought into one tournament 9 times. The most I've ever bought into a tournament has been 3 times. And that's years of playing poker. Now it wasn't a huge tournament. It would have been a good rate of return because it was only a 60-cent buy-in. So it would have been 66 cents. But if you won first place, it would have been like $40-something. So I bought in 9 times. 13. I stopped counting after 13 flips, but I lost 13 every single flip I lost. And I'm gonna tell you, I lost the same exact way. And everybody want to talk about numbers and do the blah 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 and this and that. Well, what's the do the math on that? Do the math. Let's be real. Nothing like that is that's nearly impossible. But every single flip, and what I mean by I lost the same way, every time I had pair over pair. And what I mean by that, perfect an example. And I would have so many outs and not hit every single time. There was a time I just needed one heart or just my card. I had a flush draw, straight draw, couldn't hit the flush draw, the straight draw, or my card for the set. And this particular time when I had jacks, long story short, I ended up jamming. The flop was 10-9-8. I had a damn jack. And at that, I had the jack of spades. The turn comes, it gives me even more outs. So I go from having pocket jacks with a open-ended to pocket jacks, open-ended, flush draw, and couldn't hit shit. And that literally happened almost in the same exact manner. But what the only difference really is I didn't have jacks. But that happened 5 times in a row. Basically in a row. Because that's the only time I was jamming or calling jams is when I had, hands like that or good hands or all these outs and just couldn't hit. So I wound up emailing Bet Online today. I hope they shut down my account. But I told them they can go fuck themselves and I'm coming after them. I don't care if they want to take that as a threat or however they want to take it, but I am coming after them. Whichever way, I'm coming after them. I am letting the world know how much of a scam these sites are. They are rigging hands. They're rigging pots. How many... It's crazy. 13 times. I lose 13 flips in the same manner. Pair over pair. Pocket pair over pocket pair. Every time I had a pocket pair, they would have a higher pocket pair. Every single time. So, I couldn't take it no more. I just stopped playing. I emailed them right away. I told them they can go fuck themselves. I hope they all fall off the face of the earth. I let them have it. And I told them I'm coming after them. I've contacted the FBI just like many of other people. But the thing is, the FBI, they don't care. They don't care. FBI is only interested in things that are going to benefit their image. Because if you notice, every time something happens and the FBI does get involved, what comes next? A movie or a show. What comes next? Their field agents being interviewed for the show or interviewed for the movie, you know, stuff like that. So they only interested in stuff like that's going to benefit them. And I guess they don't feel that this is going to benefit them. I've even, if you look back in previous video, I even provided some information or created a video where they wind up sending me someone else's banking information, phone number, email, address. And they vice versa did the same to me, where they sent someone my information. And I wind up having money stolen from me from my bank accounts. I had to shut down my cards and get new cards. They wind up giving me my money back and everything. Long story short, the dots were connected later throughout time. So that's how I came back to the conclusion it had to be them, because around the same time they sent me someone else's banking information. And then when they replied to me, because I let them know what they have done, they tried to play it off like no they didn't, and I'm sending them the stuff that they sent me. So they didn't want to admit to their own mistakes. And then when they responded to me, they were calling me someone else. They were calling me someone else. And I had to correct them on that too. No, I'm not this person. I am this person. So that's how I know it was them. But again, stay away from these fucking sites. I just don't think I have it in me anymore to continue. I think I've showed enough. I think I've proven enough. I mean, there's a lot more I could have proven. But there's a lot of things that I've showed and proved. And if someone decides to just have any type of common sense and just do the math, like everybody wants to talk about, do the math. Come on, just think about things. Just think. But that's just an update. I think I am done. I do have a little bit of money on the site. It's not enough to actually pull off. So I don't know what. And I don't want them to just keep my money. So that's why I'm thinking like that's what I'm saying. I'm just about done. Because I will not load a dime else on online poker ever in my life. Unless I'm playing party poker or Poker Stars. And probably not even Poker Stars, but party poker. So that's that. That's my update. There's been a lot of things I want to show and prove to you guys. It's just coming to everything's coming to an end when it comes to this. I've been banned off of America's Card Room, and that's not a bad thing. That's actually an awesome thing that I've been banned from them. I'm happy. You guys seen it. You guys seen why. They just couldn't take the pressure of my questioning or anything like that. They didn't like what I was showing the internet. They just didn't like none of that. And so their only thing was to ban me. Plus, I was just a dangerous player for the site. As you guys see, I can load with, I can start with very little or zero, run it up, and I'll cash it out and be gone. And again, they don't like that because they're losing money. No matter if it's a few hundred or a few thousand, they don't want to lose money. Same thing when it comes to Bovada. Same thing when it comes to Global Poker. They didn't like the fact that I was getting them banned from a lot of the processors, things like that. So what else are they gonna do? They're gonna cut me off. I don't like being scammed. I'm telling them things that I'm seeing. I'm telling them about players that I see from other sites, and just everything, providing them all the proof. Had no choice but to get my money back. They banned me. The last site, Bet Online. But that's just my update. That's all I want to discuss and tell you guys. Yeah, that's it.